Hello everyone, this is podcast Vestях Husanki. Today I'm in Norwich visiting Jade, who is co-founder of the Ukrainian Teens Club. Hello Jade.
Hello Sasha.
Jade, tell us about how you got the idea of organizing this club and what inspired you to do that.
Okay, so I work for Norfolk County Council in Children's Services, and our team was called the Ukraine Support Team and was originally set up following the full-scale invasion into Ukraine when the Homes for Ukraine visa was created. So part of our role was to complete welfare visits when families arrived, and 3 6-monthly to check in, make sure you guys were settling into Norfolk, that you were integrating, that you knew had a good understanding of the education system, weren't having any challenges or any worries. And the idea for the youth club came from listening to teenagers I met during those welfare visits. So again and again, I was going all over Norfolk to different areas, and I was hearing the same thing from teenagers, that they felt really alone. And I remember one young person sitting with me who was 15 at the time, and she was quite emotional. And she just said, just nobody gets it. No one understands. Yeah. And because I was in a really privileged position where I was meeting so many teenagers, I knew that other people did get it because they were telling me the same thing. So that really stuck with me, and we wanted to create a space where Ukrainian teenagers could meet others who understood what they were going through, people who shared their experiences, languages and culture. And I spoke to my manager about it, and she gave me the freedom to try something new and set up a youth club.
Right, that's great. So what was like the main goal of it? Was it like to bring all people, all Ukrainian guys together, and has it changed with time?
Yeah, absolutely. So that was definitely the main, really simple goal at the beginning, was to give young people a space to meet others in the same situation and feel less alone. The space is very welcoming and people can be themselves there. Over time, as the group grew, it became more than just a support network, and I felt like it's now a real community. Right. So it's not just about the support now, but it's also changed over time into wanting to celebrate Ukrainian culture, sharing traditions and building confidence together. I think something that is important, that now it's been quite a long time, that you're still having access to the traditions that used to go on in Ukraine, keeping that alive even though you're in Norfolk.
Yeah, well, that's very nice. So Jade, what was the hardest moment during the club's existence, and how did you deal actually with that?
Okay, so one of the hardest moments for me was when attendance at the club started to drop. So at first I felt quite worried and wondered if the group wasn't working anymore. But then I found out that the teenagers were actually spending time together outside of the club, which in a way showed that the group had done exactly what it set out to do, because instead of needing to come to the group, they were out and about doing lovely things, having a nice time. So that was really great, but did feel like a worry. So what we're doing now, we've just had a break over the summer because a lot of young people went back to Ukraine or went on holidays. And this Wednesday, we are relaunching the group for 11 to 17-year-olds, so we can support a new wave of young people, because it almost was then gearing towards older, like 16, 17, 18-year-olds that are now going off to college and going to university, like yourself. So we are now aiming for a new group and a new relaunch, and on Wednesday, similarly to when we first met with the young people, we're going to ask exactly what they want from the group and go from there.
You know, there is always hard parts of organizing some sort of projects. So do you remember how the club was started and who helped you?
So it was a challenge to begin with, and I remember feeling nervous about whether anyone would turn up or whether it would work. But the thing that really helped was working with the teenagers and young people. So before we launched the group, I think we met 3 times in a central location in Norwich where we played some games, but we also had paper out on the tables where we were just mind mapping what would be a good idea and what young people wanted. So that was really, really helpful in getting the group off the ground. Also, we're really lucky to have a really great team that I work with, and part of our team, we've got 3, when we started we had 3 Ukrainian women, which was so helpful because 2 of them had children, so they could give ideas from the child point of view, but also bringing those Ukrainian traditions and saying, my colleague Lesia was a teacher in Ukraine, so she was like, this is what we might try in Ukraine and this is what is culturally, so that was amazing. My manager was really supportive, but also the building we're sat in right now is part of Norwich School. They're a fantastic school that have been really supportive and given us a space to hold the youth group for free. And Bread Sauce is a local bakery in Norfolk, and they, over the last 2 years, have given us baked goods and donations.
Wow.
So we've had lots of help. It has been amazing. It's really great.
Do you remember any funny moments? Maybe the funniest moment that you remember?
Yeah, so I always love the celebrations that we have. One of my favourite memories was our Christmas karaoke night, which was last year. I invited a friend of mine who's a professional singer to come and sing a set, and Norwich School put loads of fairy lights up and just made it feel really festive and lovely. And what was funny was Amy, my friend, sang 3 songs, and then all the young people at the group were like, we don't want you to sing anymore, we want to sing. So they kicked Amy off, and then it turned into just a karaoke night, and that was really fun. And felt really joyful and really lovely. I also love when we get out and about as a group. So like I said, we've had really good support from local Norwich businesses. For example, there's a sushi place called Cisco Sushi, and we had a sushi making workshop for us, and the owner, whose name is Ali, was a refugee himself, and he spoke about his experience as a refugee, and that was really special. And the bowling house has also hosted us for a bowling night, which was great. So I think they're some of my happiest moments, is seeing young people out in the community and having fun.
Wow, that's nice. What advice would you give to people who wish to start similar projects?
The biggest part of advice I would give is to really listen to the people that you want to support and that you want to help. So let their voices guide you. Don't be afraid to start small, and if things aren't perfect at first, don't worry. Things get easier, get better. Build a really good team around you, I think, is really important. People who share your passion and can bring different perspectives, so that element of teamwork. And don't be afraid. For me, something I've really learned is don't be afraid to ask for help and ask for support from that team around you, or for people out and about, because people really, really want to help. They want to share your passion. They want to contribute to the community, to the society. So that is absolutely, my biggest part of advice.
Thank you. So this was a podcast with Husanki. Today I have visited Jade, who is co-founder of Ukrainian Teens Club, and thank you so much for this interview.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Bye-bye.